Hello everyone, this is Shupriya Rai Chaudhary from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Modern Science, and today I would like to talk about guttation. Guttation is the exudation of water from hydrathodes of leaf margins caused by root pressure. It is often mistaken for dew in the morning because it occurs at night when water is not processed as quickly within the plant. The guttation occurs when there is ample water in the soil and the humidity of air is high. Conditions reducing the root pressure, such as cold, dry, aerated soil, and also mineral deficiency, reduces guttation rate. The watery droplets consist of water in which many organic and inorganic substances are dissolved. After the drops have dried, the salts and organic substances, etc., remain in the form of residue on the margin of the leaves. The phenomenon of guttation is associated with the presence of special pores at the margin of the leaves, which are called water stomata or hydrathodes. Here are some examples like in tomato, wheat, strawberry, nasturtium, grapes, colocasia. Now we will discuss about hydathode. So hydathodes are water stomata or water pores or water glands present on the leaf tips and margins. Water exudation through hydathodes takes place in slowly transpiring, well-watered plants. Cells of hydathodes are small, thin-walled, with dense cytoplasm and are devoid of chloroplast with extensive intercellular space system called as epitheme. There is xylem supply to the epitheme and water moves through the intercellular spaces of the epitheme to the outside through the pores. This process of water exudation is called guttation. Water stomata are modified stomata that are incapable of closing. Hydathode occur in many families like Poaceae, Araceae, Ranunculaceae, Papaveraceae, etc., including pteridophytes like Equisetum. They may occur over the entire surface of the leaf or may be restricted to margins or leaf or tips and even at the tips of tendril like in Vitis vinifera. There are two types of hydathode, epidermal hydathode and epitheme hydathode. Epidermal hydathode are also known as salt gland because they secrete iron and minerals along with water, and epitheme hydathode is known as hydathode or water stomata. Now we will discuss about the structure of hydathode. A typical hydathode consists of water pore, epitheme and trachete. If we see the structure of hydathode, each hydathode opens to the exterior through one or more pores termed as water pore, which are generally regarded as modified stomata with guard cells. These guard cells are chloroplast free with large nucleus, many mitochondria and a large vacuole. But these guard cells are devoid of closing mechanism. So the pores are always open except in impatiens and tropulum. So they show opening and closing mechanism. The water pore internally opens to a chamber which is known as substomatal chamber, and it is lined by one or two layers of large isodiametric cells with which we can easily distinguish the neighboring epitheme cells. So below the substomatal chamber, there is a parenchymatous tissue, and each cells of this tissue are thin-walled, they lack chloroplast, and some cells may contain small vacuums. So they are known as epitheme. So the epitheme cells of Taraxacum officinale and Papaver species have a well-developed wall protuberances, which are called as transfer cells, and they have extensive intercellular spaces. But in Crassula argentina, the epitheme tissue does not have extensive intercellular spaces. The tracheids of the xylem supply terminate at the intercellular spaces of the epitheme, but in some species they may reach up to substomatal chamber like in Primula vulgaris, or even they may reach up to water pole like in Epomogeton species. Usually 1 to 3 veins fuse with each other before reaching the epitheme. The terminal tracheids usually have spiral, scalariform and annular thickenings. Functions. The main function of hydathode is water exudation in the liquid form. A colocasia leaf may exude 10 to 100 ml of water per night. Root pressure is the main cause of guttation. The exuded fluid may be pure water or it may contain ammonium phosphate, magnesium chloride, calcium nitrate, etc. in low quantities. The occurrence of amino acids, sugars, and water-soluble vitamins in the fluid are reported in the leaves of Zea mays and Colocasia antiquarum. With this, I come to the end of presentation. Thank you for watching video.